Hello there. Might wait a minute, see if anyone joins up. If we got anybody in the chat there, just go ahead and feel free to post whatever questions you got. If any of you guys are watching on the website, you can click on a link that's in the description below, or if you're watching and you see the little YouTube logo somewhere down right there, you can click on that little YouTube logo. That will link you to our YouTube channel, and then from there we can make the best use of our time here and kind of interact with each other, ask some questions, and I can give you guys some tips on whatever you might be working on, or answer any other questions about music or banjo, mandolin, or guitar, or bluegrass that you guys might have. All right, I'm going to start off on some stuff, but if I see any questions pop up, I'll address those. Like I said, if you're on the website, you click on our little YouTube logo, go to our YouTube channel, pop in that chat, ask me some questions, tell me what's going on, and I'll help with whatever you have. Please do not feel shy. Like I said, I'm going to go with some stuff because I know some people are sending some emails, so I'm going to talk about some stuff I saw in the emails. But as soon as we see some stuff in the chat, we'll talk about some banjo stuff. Banjo fretting hand thumb position. Okay, is that in regards to like any specific tune? Because it's really going to change, and this is the same for really any of these fretted instruments. Your thumb hit position is going to change based on what you're playing. A lot of the times when I'm playing just like a regular, like these vamp chords, you can see my thumb's kind of hanging over the side. It's not totally flat, right? Can you see the little difference? It's a little bit on its side, right? Not totally on its side, not like that, because we never want the hand flat against the neck. We always want a little bit of an angle, most of the time. That may change if we're playing something crazy, but usually it's on its side. Sometimes it might move a little bit back here, a little bit back there. The main thing is you just don't want to be squeezing this way. You've got to add some pressure that way, and a little bit of counter pressure where the thumb's resting on the back of the neck, but you just don't want any excess pressure. So let's see. So like I said, usually it's kind of on its side. Sometimes it may be actually like on the back of the neck though. So let me see if I can, yeah. You can see when I do this kind of chord position, like if I was doing this kind of C chord up the neck and having to do a little bit of a bar, you can see my hand might rotate a little bit, and I might go against what I usually say, where I usually tell you to have that little bit of an angle. But to get that bar, you've kind of got to get a little bit more parallel with the neck. As you can see, my thumbs, you can't even see it right now, right? It's not over the top. I think it's, just getting into that better position. Needs a little bit of more counter pressure on the back. Let me see if I can twist around here and you can see where it ends up on the back of the neck. Whoa. Don't knock any lights over or anything. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so if I'm doing that little bar, you can see it's not perpendicular, right? It's not like across. It's still at a little bit of an angle. It kind of follows the angle of the rest of my fingers. Okay? So yeah, usually most of the time, hanging over the top, on its side a little bit. But then if I get in a position where I'm doing one of these kind of bar type chords, or even sometimes if I'm down here on the neck and I need to make a big stretch, see like that, right? My first finger's more on its side, more on the pinky. My thumb's kind of in the same spot. It's on the back of the neck. And that might change from string to string too. So right there, my thumb might be on the back of the neck, but more towards the top. If it goes down to some of these lower strings, yeah, I just felt it move there. The thumb might shift just slightly. It just kind of follows the fingers. It's not like when my fingers move down to this next strings that I all of a sudden make a big shift one way or the other, or actually move my thumb. It's just kind of like, imagine holding something kind of like that. I mean, it just kind of follows wherever your fingers go. Is there any particular song you're working with that the thumb placement's an issue for you right now, Sarah? I'm trying to tap on the screen here so I can get these chats to come back up. Yeah, it's not static. It's gonna move around depending on what you're playing. Yeah, definitely. You don't want to think like I always have to have my thumb on the back of the neck or always have to have your thumb over the top. Um, it's always going to be moving around a little bit. The thumb on the back, that's more of a classical thing, I guess, but there's some chords that like you almost, I don't want to say absolutely need it for because I can probably still get a bar with my thumb over the top. It's hard though, right? But a lot of those anytime you might do a little bar, whether it's a partial bar or full bar, that thumb over the back is usually going to be your best position. But a lot of the classic banjo stuff, Scruggs style, that thumb over the top is just going to be so comfortable. And thumb over the top, it's not like that's bad position. Violin players, like that's how they always play. The thumb's kind of always on the side, sticking up a little bit. The majority, and even like a lot of classical players. There may be some from a different school that do it different, but a lot of them, that thumb's on the side. It's not on the back of the neck. That's more of a guitar thing. So since the banjo neck's kind of so skinny, that thumb over the top just fits a lot better for. At least for me, I like it's just really comfortable. But like I said, some stuff, whether it's chords or big stretches, sometimes that thumb's just gonna go wherever it needs to go, depending on what I'm playing. Did that kind of address most of what you were looking for the thumb, or is there any other little tidbits you're looking for that I didn't get to? Let me know. Pop that in the chat. I'm going to talk about some other stuff while you guys put some questions in the chat there. I know there was someone that asked about dueling banjos. Cool. Awesome, Sarah. Someone had asked about dueling banjos. On Have Yourself a Man, you hit the 5th string at the 9th fret. I can't get a good hit. Have yourself a man. What instrument's that for, Kyle? Is that banjo? 5th string at the 9th fret. I'm not sure if I wrote that tab. Let me look that one up real quick. So some of the times, when playing 5th string notes, a lot of the classic Scruggs stuff, you're just going to bring your thumb over if you can. For me, for whatever reason, my thumb just does not like coming over. A lot of the times I'll find a way to, instead of getting the thumb over, getting more of that position I was talking about with Sarah, where that thumb gets behind the neck, and then I'll end up using like a first finger or a ring finger to get up there at that 9th fret. So I'm going to look through my app here and check out Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Have yourself. Oh, chord melody. This is gonna be rough for me. Hold on. What measure was that? Chord melody stuff is rough for me. That's something I need to work on. It's beautiful though. 5th string at the 9th fret. Okay. Just try to scan the music here and see if I can find that part. 5th string, 9th fret. 5th string, 9th fret. Okay, I see that. Alright, gonna have to do some sight reading, so I will be going quite slow here. Put the banjo on my right knee so I can see my tab here. So, it's already cool. Yeah, is that it? So that little phrase, that's the tough one. So that's my first instinct. I think Bennett might have wrote this one. I don't remember doing this. But my first instinct is to do the 10th and the 9th. That's over that C7 where we normally might play that chord. Leave your pinky where it was. But then put that ring finger there in place of your middle finger at the 9th fret, okay? And you can see, you can't see my thumb, right? I'm going to that more classical position. Thumb's on the back. It's not straight up. It's a little bit, here, let me try to make the chord position to bring my hand out. So there's kind of what my hand looks like. when I'm playing. That's my thumb position, right? It's not like that, right? Even when I put it right there, I feel tension in my thumb. It just relaxes over to the left. Okay. Okay. So pinky on the 10th fret, first string. Oh, where'd it go? I lost it. And then ring finger, 9th fret, 3rd string, and then I'm reaching my middle finger up to get that 9th fret. That's a cool little phrase. Yeah, so that's my first instinct. Let me see if there's a different way to do this. Yeah, so the other way is still probably going to be, actually no, you can kind of do it like you're doing your C chord. Alright? So you just bring that thumb over top, but you are going to have to kind of reach that first finger back, and you can see whenever I'm reaching that first finger back, there's a little bit of a change in the wrist, right? It's kind of rotating a little bit. So, it's hard though. Let me try it again. Yeah, so you can do it by reaching your thumb over top, and then reaching that first finger back. That was definitely more of a stretch though. So for me, for my hands, this is a lot more comfortable. Alright, did that kind of get what you were looking for? I got you two options there that I think will be able to get it. The other option, not in the tab, but you know, anytime you've got a note, cool. Anytime you've got a note that's hard to reach, you know, depending on how your instrument's tuned with banjo, like right now I'm trying to find a different place to play this note. That 7th fret note on the first string. We can find that same note if we go up a string, and then up the next 3 frets. So instead of let me see. Right, that's a nice, easy way to do it. So you see what I'm doing there? So I got pinky right there on the 10th fret, first string. Ring finger, that ring finger, 10th fret, 2nd string, that's playing the note that used to be first string, 7th fret. Alright, so it's just getting it all in, a little bit more in the same place for that little melodic lick. And that middle finger is still 9th fret, 3rd string. So yeah, so for me, that's actually the easiest, I think. Where is it? Let me finally get my tab here again. Yeah, so I like that option. So try that and try to think of that sometimes. If you've got something that's kind of hard to find, see if you can move one of the notes that you're maybe having to stretch way back for or forward for. See if you can get it either by finding it on a different string or even using an open string sometimes. That'll help. Cool. Alright, let me talk about a little bit about this dueling banjos because I know someone had emailed about that. But if you guys have any more questions, just pop them in the chat. So the question that I had for dueling banjos was someone saying they don't know how to get the up strum with their thumb pick. So I think they're talking about this first part. Well, the first part's just chord, it's all thumb. But I think they're talking about this part right here. So you're not doing it all with your thumb pick. You're not playing it like a flat pick. Although you could, but don't do it, probably. Alright, so any of the places I think, I forget the person that asked this question, wherever you think the upstroke is, it's probably going to be an index finger, okay? So like right here, those quick notes, that's thumb index, and then we're just going to do all index on the second string. Then we're going to go to the thumb whenever the notes switch to the third string. Right, because usually our home base for bluegrass banjo is middle finger on the first string, first finger on the second string, and then thumb on the third string. I'm going to flip through a little bit more of the tab. Right, so that's just nothing too crazy there. Here's another little section. We've got some. Right, so that little da-da-dum. Right, we're going thumb, index, thumb. And then for, again, notes on the second string, getting with the first finger. Notes on the first string, we're getting with the middle finger. Going up the neck, it's a different spot on the neck, but it's the exact same use of our right hand. And another example here, going to this partial bar, right? I'm not going to do thumb over top, although I probably could. You could, it's doable. For me, I like this. I guess probably because I've been a guitar player for a while as well. It's just I always feel like I'll get my bar notes a lot cleaner when I get the thumb behind the neck. So another little quick thing about some thumb position, Sarah, if you're still watching. So where you are on the neck, your thumb's going to move as well. Like that's going to be another thing that determines. Because when I'm way up here, that's what my thumb looked like when I was way up there. Well, maybe, yeah, right? But when I'm way back here, you can see my thumb's back like that. So where you are on their neck, your thumb's going to move as well, right? So that's another thing to think about. Next, looking dueling banjos from the top. Like I said, different spot on the neck, exact same right hand. The fast chord part, we're still going to do, even though we're doing like all the strings, you're going to add that index finger in. So instead of doing all down strokes with the thumb, which you might be able to do at least up to a certain speed, we're going to add that first finger in. Right, and you can see I'm kind of using my wrist like a guitar pick. I'm not just keeping it still like I would with playing banjo, because with trying to get all these strings with your thumb and then with the first finger, it's really hard, if not impossible, to keep that hand completely still and get that. But like I said, we're doing thumb, index, thumb, and then just thumb, thumb. And when you do your upstroke with your index finger, don't feel like you have to get all the strings. Even if I only get like 3 or even 2, it's still going to sound good. I think I only got like 3 strings right there. It sounds fine. Alright, I'm going to go to the next part of dueling banjo, see if there's anything crazy, just looking over the tab. Nope, I mean it all kind of follows that thing. Like I said, if you got the 16th notes, which are the notes that have the line coming down from them, and then 2 bars at the bottom, we're usually going to be using that thumb index pattern. And besides that, thumb's going to be getting most of the notes on 3rd, 4th, and 5th string, index on the 2nd, middle on the 1st. Alright, that pretty much covers dueling banjos. Let's see if I got any ideas of other stuff to talk about. If you got, like I said, if you guys got other questions of stuff you're working on, or just let me know. I think last time we were doing Blackberry Blossom. You guys still working on that? How's that coming along? I think one of the other things I was thinking about would be good for people is learning a melody in 2 different spots on the neck. Try to think of a good example here. So maybe like Mary Had a Little Lamb. Lots of times when I'm teaching people stringed instruments, whether it's guitar, banjo, or mandolin, I like to teach them simple melodies that you know how to sing. We start learning on just a single string, then we move it to like one specific location, and then also learning how to play it at a different spot on the neck. So like Mary Had a Little Lamb. First thing we want to know is our major scale, because most melodies, nursery rhymes, and most Western music is coming out of a major scale, okay? So the formula for that is whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. All right, whole step means we go 2 frets. All right, so whole, whole, half. Then half step is just 1 fret. All right, and then the next piece is whole, 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 half. Alright, so after you learn that major scale, I really try to encourage people to sing stuff. The more you can sing stuff, the better you're going to pick it out by ear, okay? So if we got, and when you're trying to find the notes, you're going to use the notes that you know are in the major scale as your trial and error, right? We're not just going to be randomly trying notes. We're only going to try notes that are in the major scale. So if you think of that, Mary Had a Little Lamb. Kind of sing a little bit of those scale notes. Sing, yeah. Another guy here that I love talking about that is Derek Trucks. Not really from the bluegrass world, but one of the most emotive and expressive musicians. You know, he studied with a guy from India named Ali Akbar Khan, and they say, you know, you need to be able to sing it before you play it, but it totally helps your ear. One of the cool things that I love in TuneFox, if you guys are ever trying to hide note thing in TuneFox, first of all, it's a great thing to do, but one, you can use the looper. I think a lot of people know about that, but another super duper cool thing you can do is just tap on a single note. Let me see, that might only be on the PC. Yeah, I think it's only when you're on your computer. But if you can just click on one single note, like when it's got high notes, and you can see the little circle, you don't know what string it's on, right? Or you don't know what fret it's on, but you know what string it's on, right? But you can just click on that one single note, and then it'll play that sound. And if you can match that sound with your voice, you know, you can think, hey, is this note really high? Is it really low? Is it in the middle? And then once you establish where it is, you kind of look at those spots on your banjo neck. And if you know what string it's on, you know, it helps you that much even more. Like if you see it's on the 3rd string and it sounds like a high note, you know, you'll look higher up the neck. But that's a great way to start really training your ear and using one of the features that's built in the app to help you. All right, back to major scale. Mary Had a Little Lamb. All right, so try to just like hum the notes. Sometimes that might be really high. If it doesn't really fit your voice, just go to a different string, because this single string stuff, you know, it doesn't really matter. That formula, whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, it's going to apply to any string as long as, you know, so right there, our G string is our starting point. So at this point, we play the G major scale. If we use that same formula on the D string, we just play the D major scale, right? So maybe D is better for your voice, or B, or whatever. So try to find the first couple notes of the melody. So Mary had a, and even if you don't get the pitch exactly matched, syncopated D chord section of, yeah, I love that section. That's one of my favorite licks to play. Really quick, let me just finish up that thought though. So even if you don't play the exact notes right, if you can tell where the melody, once you find your first note, right, meh, da, if you can just find that, I'm still singing in G. Da, da. I found it really quick, but you might have to do more trial and error. Remember, use the scale. But after you find your first note, if you can tell where the next note goes, da, da, if you can tell it goes down or up, you know, that's going to give you a lot of information into picking out that melody by ear. You just kind of go note by note. Da, da, Mary. You know, and singing those syllables to find it. Yeah, Sarah, are you learning from the app, or do you got a different version? I know, like, in my mind, I've got my own way I play it. So, people do play this lick differently, right? Usually you got this D chord shape over there with your left hand. Ring finger there, 4th fret, D string. First fret, first finger, 2nd fret, G string. That was it, listening for timing. Okay. Yeah, once again, if you could just, lots of times if you can just speak that rhythm, like if you're listening to Earl play it or whoever play it, listen to that little phrase, pause it, and then just try to da 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 da. Like if you can speak the rhythm, even if you're not singing the notes, that's going to get your timing more internal. It's going to be a lot easier to transfer. So like I was teaching this guy the other day, we were doing a chord strumming pattern on guitar, and I was just saying like a kind of a nonsense rhythm, like a scat, and get him to speak it back in rhythm, even though he couldn't sing the notes. But I was just like, actually no, I was telling him the strum pattern, like down and up. So it was like down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. So even if you can speak that rhythm, it's going to help you, like I said, translate it a lot better. Do you want to play that slower, or do you want me to talk about like how it's syncopated with the beat? 2, 3, 4. That's one of those ones that I think I've learned by ear. It's a little bit harder to break down, counting the 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and 1 E and 1 E and. I'd have to see the tab. Let me pull that up. I think we got that on here. Yeah, ground speed. There it is. Where is that? There it is. Yeah. So 1 E and a 2 E. 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and. Gotta go really slow trying to count this out. 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and. That's hard to count like that. Yeah, so another thing you can do with TuneFox, like if you're learning it from the app, right? I just pulled it up, but you just like tap on that measure, then all of a sudden everything else goes dark, right? You just hit play. Right now it's playing at 120, which is insane if you're learning it, right? If you're learning something, you probably need to be, you probably need to be at like 60. So I'm going to pause it so I can adjust that little tempo slider there at the bottom. Slide it down to like 60, maybe even slower, right? And if you're listening for timing, that means you probably don't have it down mentally yet, right? And it'd be really good, 50, yeah. It'd be really good to get it down mentally, like I said, where you can speak it or hum it or whatever before you try it with your hands, right? So right now there's a lot of stuff going on, right? Because usually when you're playing something in TuneFox, you've got the band and you've got the metronome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up there, the top right. There's like 2 little lines and dots. It's like a little picture of like a slider on a mixing board, right? So I'm going to go to that. Leave the banjo up. Let's turn the band off. We might leave the metronome on, but just turn it down a little bit, okay? And then, all right, so that saves automatically. Now, and just listen to it over and over. Don't stare at the screen, right? You don't want to get your timing by watching the little dots. Just look away or close your eyes and listen over and over. And then after hearing it for a while, see if you can like pat the rhythm or even scat the rhythm, like I said, like just the nonsense syllable, like da, 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 right? Listen to it over and over. It's repetition. Anytime I'm learning something from a record, the way I learn it, besides using an app that helps me slow it down, is listening to that song over and over and over and over and over a bunch of times. But this, like I said, using that little looper where you just loop that measure just helps make your practice time so much more efficient, because if that's the thing you're struggling with, you don't want to listen to the whole song, right? You just want to listen to that little piece, but you turn the band down, turn the metronome down, and just listen to that over and over until you can either pat the rhythm or scat the rhythm. And then once you can do that, I think you're going to be a whole lot closer to being able to play it on your banjo, or like this same principle would apply to mandolin or guitar or whatever, you know. But that repetitive listening, right? Repetition is the path to mastery. I heard it said from actually a video game that I like to play. But it's true, repetition. So whether, you know, when we're learning to play something with our hands, we got to do it a lot, and we got to do it the right way. When we're learning by ear, we just need to listen a lot. The good thing about listening is if we're listening to someone play it right, like it is in the app, you know, we don't have to worry about listening to it the wrong way. We just listen to it over and over, and that'll help us, like I said, get a lot closer to playing it. And some stuff is hard or slow for whatever reason. Cool, that piece is the missing link. Can play it before it. Time to bring it together. Heck yeah, it's time to bring it together. That's awesome. Like I said, just loop it, listen to it a bunch. I bet you can get it in a day. I really think you could. Cool. Awesome. That's great. I'm so glad to hear that. Like, that makes me happy. Thanks, Kyle. Yeah, Sarah, I really think once you start to practice this way with that isolating and repetitive listening, you're going to be able to really impress yourself and get some new good progress when your practice time is focused like that. So, hope that helps. Hope it helps a lot. What else was I going to say? I don't remember. If you guys got any other questions, just go ahead and pop them in the chat. If you got anybody with us, if anybody's watching on the website, you can click on the little YouTube link down there at the bottom right. And you can join me here, and I'll be happy to answer any questions or help out with anything you guys got going on. That's working on speed too. Isolating. Yeah, that repetition. For sure. Yeah, that helps a whole bunch. Another thing, I'm not sure if it was a couple weeks ago, but I talked about taking, whether it's a bar or even a whole song sometimes, and changing the rhythm of it. So the cool thing about the app now is where I was just at, you know, doing the band stuff, moving the band sound, you can now move stuff to swing time. See that little thing that, where is it? Yeah, so you hit that little switch. Yeah, there he goes. And listen to how much it changes the sound. So that one little thing, or even that one little section. Where is it? You hear that difference? So it went from the straight timing, which is very even, to the swing time is right? That's really common in blues and jazz. But learning to play a song with that different time feel, playing it straight and then playing it swing, it can just help increase your control, and a lot of times help increase your speed. So going from so that's straight. Now I'm going to play it swing, and you can hear the difference. So playing that swing, it can just help your control, help your time feel, just really help you kind of up your level of musicianship. So that's a great thing to try to do, is to play something straight, swing, and even a dotted rhythm, which is a little bit tougher. So instead of da 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 da, which is based off of a triplet. The swing dotted is 1 yen, 2 yen. Hold on. It's a little bit tougher, maybe a little bit too abstract, but I think adding the swing thing will help a lot, and it just might be a cool sound that you really start to enjoy. So I'd try that out. All right, guys. Chat's looking kind of bare here, so I'm going to shut it down today. Sarah, thanks for joining me. Kyle, thanks for joining me. Everybody else, thanks for joining. Feel free to post questions, and if you join the chat early next week, just go ahead and put them in there. That way, it'll be waiting, and I'll answer as soon as we get it started. All right. Hope you guys are enjoying your times with your instruments and with TuneFox. Stay in touch, and you guys have a great week. Bye.